Hello everybody, this is Southpaw. Welcome back. We're going to look at another commentary today. See an example of me being really rusty, getting a bunch of stuff wrong, and why shipyard in small games generally turned off. So it's Rix, I'm flying for Rix here, up against IC. Nice classic, old school matchup. I always quite enjoy flying Rix. Um, I like the agility, I like the particle weapon perks, like the scout. It's been about a year since I've flown. There've been a lot of core changes, one of which seems to be a reversion to the real old school that all RIC scouts are small RIC receivers, which is really nice with a coordinated team. Pickup games, not so great. Pretty standard opening. The com had declared an intention to go tack and if possible tack yard. I've said it before, I'm not really great in a stealth fighter. Don't really enjoy it very much. Rick's stealth in particular, quite interesting. Obviously no missiles, so they drop combat pods, which quite cool. They don't raise your sig the way missiles do, but at the same time they can themselves be shot down. And you'll see that becomes relevant and important later in the game. So I'm just switching here from exploration to Conde. I was a little bit late in launch. I think one of the problems with tack is defense. And if you're going to go tack yard in small games, shipyard ties up a lot of team members, but also shipyard's really hard to defend against in small games. You generally need pretty good teamwork and high numbers to chew through hulls in time. Can very often be just overwhelmed by turret gunners. I've left that telly because it looks like it's going to be in with no problems. You'll see I just check it begins its dive here. Build sphere is all good. So I'm just checking the minimap to see where best to position myself next. When in pops an enemy opcon. You're going to see me make a couple of mistakes here. I don't really have a very offensive loadout. I've got one pack of procs because I've taken probes. Ricks, I've obviously got no dumbs. So I've got gap, one rack of ammo. It's going to be really tough to solo kill this. It's already on the rock and lined up, so I need to ram it to delay it. But this is a really bad ram. I'm approaching it from directly behind its lineup, so I miss the ram. I drop the procs behind, which is the wrong place to drop it. And then when I ram it on the nose, so it stays lined up. I needed to ram it perpendicular to make it line up again. So as you can see, the com is calling for rams, and I made a mess of that. If I'd been able to ram it perpendicular and spin it, maybe could have delayed it in time for that fig to get there. However, as you can see, there's also a couple of nans, so touch and go. But bad procs on the way in, dropped it behind rather than on. Was approaching it directly from behind, and only got a bad ram in. So that's not great. That's an IC op in mid, which is going to give it access directly to where we're going to want to mine, and also to where we planted our telly, because that looks like it's going to be our tack rock. Rather than change his plan at this point, Com's pretty much committed to attack. So given that we're going to put our attack in there, I need to go and have a quick look round. I probe that U-rock because that would make a pretty interesting place for IC to put an expansion. Find the Aleph pretty much straight away. Go to peek it. Now I think I rip out before I peek this, but I really should peek it. Let's see. Nope, I'm going in. Another U-rock. It's the Alleg God saying should be a expansion versus expansion game. See here, I'm flying around with my NAN loaded. That's also a mistake. If I ever have to shoot, it's going to take me about 10 seconds to switch that out. So the map is almost completed. There's a miner there. I can see it's ripping, but I'm here. Maybe I can get the hull down, the shields down. Maybe there's somebody waiting on whatever TP it rips to. But there you go. NAN is loaded. A few seconds wasted. And it's gone. And in all of that fun, the com has gone ahead and planted our attack in that sector with the enemy op, which is bold, given that in a normal game, the enemy would camp that with ints and bomb it. I'm a little over concerned about that NAN. I really should just keep harrying the TP con or stay to keep it eyed. So Super Glucose is right here. We've got attack. We really need to get on the offense and start killing his miners. It's our only real chance to stop him getting tech. Op looks like it's about 3k. That would be a nice bomb run. So we're merrily mining away in the sector next to an op. So I'm going to go and attempt a bit of miner D here. can see we've got a single fighter in there at the moment. No nans. And that mine has taken some hull damage, so I'm going to nan that up. I'll nan the fighter up. Then we're going to start to make some bad decisions. Well, what I tried to do there, and this is me not having played for a while and forgetting the keys, I tried to drop him an ammo pack, but I couldn't remember the key to cycle cargo, so drop my gat gun. Obviously going to need that. That pod's eyeing the miner, and I'm kind of wondering why the Fig is not just PKing him, but I guess it doesn't matter because that scout arrives, starts to make a run on the miner here. He's targeting me, I just nip behind the rock. So at this point, this is a mistake. It's the right thought to go and pick that pod up, but I don't check that the fighter has also gone to pick him up. And then we've got a Fig enter the sector. Now I'm way off the minus here. Now we've got a Fig and an int. There must be a probe, or they're in communication with that pod because those miners are eyed. So I start to head to the miners as the miners start to run. But I'm the only nan, and I get eye, and I realise I could get podded here. So I try and drop back, stay uneyed, and sweep in and nan the miners. But I leave it way too late. I've left it way too late to try and catch up. And you're going to see I'm about 3 or 4 seconds away from saving this miner. It dies, and it really shouldn't have done. Those dums are landing. A lot of gap fire. I'm still out of range. I'm in range just about now. Not enough. That's my mistake. I should have been a lot closer. I would have got podded, but the miner would have got another couple of 100 meters closer to the hole. Quite what that stealth fighter is doing, I don't know. But asking for trouble. So we do have stealth at this point. The bulk of the team should be out killing their miners and restricting their ability to expand and get tech. But we're pretty slow, pretty bad at doing that. I include myself. I think I might have mentioned me and stealth fighters don't mix. And in amongst all of that excitement, shipyard con is out, and we'll build uncontested middle. Love the doors on the Rick's outpost. Very convenient. Also makes it really easy to D-minus. As you emerge in a scout, you make a little left turn, drop some procs, miners right there to be nanned. That was a pretty good miner O from blue. Kept harassing that miner. The bad side about Rick's doors is they can get congested. And it can take a while for miners to line up and reline up. So I was covering that miner. Given there's nothing else in the sector, I should probably pick that cash box. But I take up a position between the miners to react to an attack on either. Then I realise I've got 3 procs. The miner rushes are all going to be coming through from Mercor, and that I can keep up pretty short, but I can keep up some sort of proc screen on that Aleph while we mine. Just getting lined up here. And watch it in the command view so I can see the lifespan of the procs. I may be a little far off the hole, but it's okay. Feels like these procs don't last as long as I'm used to. I don't know whether that's been changed in this core. But if so, it certainly makes this tactic and defending this Aleph a lot harder. So that's my penultimate pack. I've got 1 more procs loaded. Down it goes. Time to head home and get some more. You'll notice we've had stealth fighters for a while, and no or not enough miner kills. By this point, we should really be restricting them to 1 or no miners if we want to make going tack look like a good idea. Extra procs, don't need that ammo, do need the procs. Commander's getting a Corvette here, so he can sit on the miners with it, which is probably a good call. But because we've been too slow, Blue's got a shipyard in play and has been pumping cash into it. So given that we've gone shipyard, I think it's pretty good response of them to also go shipyard. They've also got a sup, which is the best tech path for countering shipyard. So we're probably not in a great space. And plus we are not exactly winning the economy battle here either. So we're now mining, or going to mine in our tac sector where there is an opcon. And watching this back in hindsight, it should be pretty suspicious that there is no even an attempt to take on these miners. I think, crappy as I am a stealth fighter, I really should have been out helping with Miner O here. That Corvette's got 3 pilots in it. There are 2 scouts in the sector. That's 5 of us. That's the bulk of our team. Tied down on Miner D, and there isn't actually any blue Miner O. You can see me checking the minimap, wondering what the heck's going on. And in a minute, you're going to see the comm realise that also myself and the other scout not required. He's going to send us out on Miner O, which is the right call. This bit doesn't make particularly thrilling viewing, I appreciate. It's an important part of the game. This is where blue win the game. No spoilers. They're able to mine or outmine us and get ahead. And really, this game, once both yards went shipyard, this was a rush to cruiser class or frigate class ships. So there we go. The comms ordered myself and Leadfist to get on the miners, which is exactly the right thing to do. So I'm about to dock here, follow the comms orders, try and overcome my inadequacy in stealth fighters and go and hunt down some enemy miners. But it's been a while, and you're going to see me swapping out the SIG cloak there rather than the small shield, putting the small shield in cargo, which is what I meant to do. Confirm change. I'm about to launch when... Hang on. That didn't look right. There we go. That's rust right there. So we get a couple of minor kills now, but we pretty soon find out that it's way too late. I'm just checking out where he's mining, where his home rip is, where I should be going. But you can see here we've got util 1, SIG 1, combat drone 1, small shield 1, obviously. Another minor kill, that's nice. Probably 5 or 10 minutes too late at this point. There it is. I do a big double take there because that's a cruiser, which is a big problem. Mentioned at the start, it's really hard to D against shipyard with tack. Personally, I think it's doubly hard with Rick's tack, because you can get pretty good burst damage out of killer missiles that the other factions have, but of course Rick's no missile faction. They've got a specific anti-capital ship combat drone, which, to be honest, I don't remember the last time I used. I'd appreciate it if you closed your eyes for the next 10 seconds as I try and dock in a shipyard door and fail. That's alright, there's no rush. It's just a cruiser in the sector. So I'm loading up with heavy combat pods here. Because it's been a very long time since I used them, if ever, I'm checking out the range.
Cloak engaged. Cloak disengaged. Enemies have reinforcement.
Here we see that's 2 cap ships. And again, another pretty bad piece of flying by me. I'm flying at almost direct intercept course here, because it's so close. And there are 2 of them. We have to pop the first one and pop it quickly. You're going to start to see, you see the heavy combat drones there firing on the cap ship. You'll start to see the ship's gunners taking out stealth fighters and then eventually taking out the pods themselves. Now he's ripping here, which turns out is a very smart move. He thinks 2 cruisers is enough, and he's heavily damaged. I flew way too close there, look. Got eye, podded in seconds. Now it's that second cap ship that's the problem. And this is going to become really close. You see the gunners now look targeting both stealth fighters and pods. Destroying those pods means there's really no way we can hurt those cap ships.
Teleportation receiver under attack. Teleportation receiver destroyed. Autopilot engaged.
We're doing a great job here getting pod pickups. Saves quite a lot of time, gets back into the fight, and very nearly works.
Welcome home. Ship is repaired, rearmed, and ready. Cloak engaged.
So he's super close to the shipyard now. There's a mistake coming up, another mistake here from me soon. You see the missile being launched there. If I've got snipers, there's a chance I can take a shot at those missiles. Look how close it is. A few seconds or one missile kill in it. So that's one of the 2 cruisers destroyed and the second one ripped out. But we've lost our shipyard, which is crucial.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Autopilot disengaged.
So at this point I'm going to rearm, assuming that that second cruiser is going to run on our tack. Again, probably should change the snipers here. Not really thinking straight. There's the warning. Where is it? It's on the garrison. Probably shouldn't do this. It's way too close. Plus he's got a couple of nans. It's really hard to take out the nans as Rick's tack. especially as you've got to swap to heavy combat drones to take out the cap ship. I'm eyed here. That's the garrison gone. So now that cruiser's got 3 or 4 nans. It's going to prove very hard to stop. He's ripping. I'm checking out the sector and I see 2 pods. I realise what I should be doing. Go give some pickups. Just have to be a bit careful here. I don't want to get eyed and podded. That's 3 of us having a long slow pod ride home. So I'm just waiting a very long distance whilst that cruiser rips.
Autopilot engaged. Cloak engaged. Autopilot disengaged.
So we've got SIG Cloak 2 now. So I'm at 21 SIG with Cloak engaged. Still proves to be not enough.
Autopilot engaged. Cloak disengaged.
Although I don't help it out with some pretty shoddy flying.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Autopilot disengaged. Station at risk.
So here he is. Lost my situation awareness. But here he's got a big run. 4 nans.
Autopilot engaged.
This is Hail Mary time. Now, there's a bunch of stealths,
Disengaged.
able to drop a lot of heavy combat pods, but with smart gunners and nans this is super hard to defend.
Cloak disengaged. Cloak
I've got to fly pretty much direct and then parallel path here. Get eyed, getting 21%, that's pretty frightening. And this is more or less game. So I hope you've enjoyed it, a little bit unusual. Good example of why shipyard not great in small games. I find TAC hard to fly, I've said. I find TAC versus shipyard particularly difficult, although with killers you've got a chance with heavy combat pods and small teams. This is rough. But it was good fun. I imagine the guys on Blue had a good time. Hope you've enjoyed watching it. You're going to see again missiles launched in a second. Again, if I had snipers here, maybe I could delay for a second, but no biggie. Good game, well played, Blue. There's the scores. Nice job. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time. See ya.